Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we are remembering the 10 most badass Solid Snake moments. Solid Snake is one of the most infamous and loved video game protagonists of all time, and we're here to remember why. Let's do it. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. Ancient Snake. In Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, Snake tracks a member of a resistance group in Eastern Europe, eventually leading him to a church where the resistance group leader Eva is holed up. Snake's entrance into the church where Eva and her men are waiting is nothing short of ridiculous, and more importantly, badass. Using one of their soldiers as a shield, he makes his way in with multiple guns pointing at him. He manages to beat every soldier around him without killing anyone. He gets all the way to their leader Eva without a scratch and by taking advantage of his CQC abilities. Not only that, but he does it at the ripe old age of ancient as fuck. Solid Snake can really handle himself even without a gun, and he's going to prove that a few more times today. Twin Snakes. After the success of Metal Gear Solid 2, Konami decided to remake the original Metal Gear Solid game for the GameCube from the ground up, with freshly recorded voice lines, a new score, and gameplay functions originally introduced in MGS2. The game received minor criticism for failing to capture the more serious, solemn tone of the original, making Snake a little bit over the top. This over the top tone did do one thing though. It made Solid Snake look like a raging badass. From his fight scene with Grey Fox after defeating Ocelot, where he dodges a chunk of concrete being kicked at him, to his Kama Sutra style takedown of the 3 soldiers leading up to his interaction with Sniper Wolf, every time Snake is shown in a cutscene in this game, he's doing something absurdly ridiculous and totally badass. That being said, just cool it a bit, Snake, you're not in an anime. Microwave Hall. Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots was easily the hardest journey for our main man Solid Snake. Watching him deteriorate from rapid aging while suffering an above average amount of injuries that take him from the handsome James Bond-esque hero we remember from the first game to this walking corpse was rough. But no moment of physical torture is more brutal in this game than the infamous microwave corridor sequence. Within the immense warship known as Outer Haven, a corridor is lined with retractable microwave emitters on both sides, serving as a deterrent for unauthorized personnel attempting to access the precious GWAI server room. The walls emit a specific type of microwave radiation which heats up the water molecules within the body, effectively causing the person to burn or boil from the inside. Despite Raiden's generous offer to take Snake's place, Snake, exemplifying the hero he is, refused and ventured in himself. I mean, it's excruciating to watch as a Snake lover, but come on! He's so badass! A Hind-D. A Hind-D. Every now and again, Snake does something that is simply absurd, and by every now and again, I mean like every 6 minutes. In MGS1, Snake did something so badass that it was brought up again 4 games later in conversation like, what the hell, man? How am I going to talk about that?
I thought only Hollywood action stars did that kind of thing. But you made it look easy.
I just told you, it wasn't that easy.
Really? But you were all like, oh, I had to take out that helicopter. Real cool. Like it was nothing.
After referencing the attack helicopter known as the Hind-D enough times to let us know it was definitely going to come up again, Snake went toe-to-toe with it. Literally. With nothing but a Stinger rocket launcher and a little bit of elbow grease, Snake single-handedly shot this bird out of the sky, bringing Otacon to the point of total mental confusion.
That explosion before, what was it?
Oh, I had to take out that helicopter.
Rookie.
Drop your weapon!
Snake has probably had more guns pointed directly at him from point-blank range than any other Metal Gear Solid protagonist, and he always manages to turn the tables without the enemy even having a chance to pull the trigger. In MGS1, it was Merrill who pointed a gun at the back of his head. In MGS4, it is the rookie operative Akiba, otherwise known as Johnny. With Snake unarmed and his back turned on Akiba, he still manages to get the upper hand and disarm his opponent. With psychological attacks, he shakes Akiba long enough to make him question himself, and using the oldest trick in his book, Snake breaks his focus for the split second he needs to do his badass drop shot.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
Careful, I'm no rookie. I'm a 10-year vet.
What are you fighting for? Sometimes Snake is his most badass when he's being raw and philosophical. In MGS1, after killing Sniper Wolf, Snake delivers a speech about his role in war that is so profound, Kojima himself references it as an emotional highlight for him personally. Following Sniper Wolf's demise, Snake utters a message to Otacon that hints at a deep turmoil within him, leaving a lasting emotional mark. Simultaneously, his words indicate a transition where he ceases attempting to channel emotions onto the battlefield or in his interactions with others, ultimately isolating himself. Snake puts his enemy into a peaceful rest and remains calm in the face of Otacon's heavy emotional state. He has a job to do, and nothing will stop him from doing it.
Snake! What was she fighting for? What am I fighting for? What are you fighting for?
If we make it through this, I'll tell you.
Taking a bullet.
I gave birth for the Patriots.
The thing about Snake is he would take a bullet for literally anyone. He is brave right down to his core. He doesn't fear death on the battlefield, and he proves this time and time and time again. In MGS4, he becomes immediately protective of Eva when he learns that she was the surrogate who carried and gave birth to him and Liquid Snake. After a particularly long cutscene, as the game has over 8 hours of them, Liquid Snake shoots the comatose body of Big Boss, which is burning on a fire. The shot causes an explosion which almost ignites Eva further than she already was. Snake moves in between her and the flames to pull her from the danger, and in the process suffers substantial burns to his body. Add these to his battle scars because he rocks these burns for the rest of the campaign. Poor Snake. Pretty badass though. What's the plan? Sometimes Snake can let his badassery get in the way of logic. Towards the end of MGS2, after Ocelot reveals his involvement in the events of the game, Liquid takes control of his body via the arm that was grafted to him. Don't worry about it, we don't have time to go into it. He then takes control of one of the Metal Gear Ray units and dives into the ocean. Snake, who has been handcuffed this entire time, breaks the handcuffs clean in half, badass, and sprints after the giant mech escaping into the ocean, badass, and then dives into the ocean after Liquid's controlled mech. Badass! It does beg the question, what the hell is the plan? Won't he just land in the water and go, oh damn, I have to breathe through my lungs? Bye, Liquid. How do I get out of the ocean?
Liquid! Stop this thing! Hey, Snake! You coming?
The tanker.
The Hudson River, 2 years ago.
There may not be a more compelling and epic intro to a game, well, ever. At the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 2, Snake absolutely goes off. In the opening sequence, we see Snake walking slowly across the George Washington Bridge. Cool, calm, epic. This was the player's first time seeing Snake since MGS1, and seeing him with facial features and PS2 graphics was a huge moment. Snake begins running and throws off his raincoat, showing us he has full stealth capabilities. He jumps headfirst off the bridge with a bungee rappelling rope combo that allows him to flip, flop, slap, and fall into a superhero landing aboard the terrorist-occupied tanker. The landing is so intense it damages the stealth unit that kept him out of the enemy's sight while jumping from a motherfucking bridge. So badass! Snake vs. Liquid Ocelot.
Show me what you've got, Snake!
Just like in the first game, Snake's final boss fight sees him atop a high structure going toe-to-toe with his brother, Liquid Snake. In MGS4, it's the failed Outer Haven where Snake and Liquid Ocelot have their final bout. With nothing left to fight for, this badass final battle is just about beating your opponent, and with the fight changing the game's HUD, music, and combat style to reflect the previous 3 games in each phase of the encounter, there is no more badass moment to help us reminisce about the last 3 adventures, and the absolute mammoth of an adventure our boy Snake has been through. Snake and Ocelot show us that old dogs can still put up a good fight, and that they do. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.